I just had to rush downstairs because I had a delivery from Kermat, not Kermit, Kermat, of 3 aluminium ladders, very lightweight, and hopefully I can use those to climb up on the back of the roof here when I'm removing the tiles. So I'll show you those in a minute. I'll show you a photo now. Very nearly finished with this lot. Just got a couple more planks to pull down. And then we can move on to removing the ceiling joists. Now, since they're all cemented into the wall, I may end up just cutting them off. Oh, very good. So there's one plank that's here. It's still nailed into this joist here. And as I pushed it to try and separate it from the nail, all it's doing is it's pulling the joist straight out of the wall. Let's see what happens. Yep. Brilliant. Well, that gives me hope that these should, or could, joists could just come out of the wall. Come and have a look. So that last little strip of wood there has got a cement fillet on top of it, which of course is stopping it. I try to sort of get the crowbar underneath and pry it off, but the cement fillet is holding it in place. So I'll see what happens if I try and pull some of these joists free, but you can see the socket that joist went into. It's missing probably a stone, but structurally that's not going to affect the wall, because of course, don't forget, this is one skin here, and you can see in these various holes, you can see through to the rubble separating the two skins, and then there's another skin on the far side of the wall. So it's probably going to be, if you have a look up the edge of the wall there, it's probably about a 60-65 centimeter thick wall, but that's all of the floorboards down except for that last one with the cement fillet. Over here I managed to pull the cement fillet off with the last piece of wood, so I'll have a go and see if I can get some of these joists down just out of interest. If they slide out as easy as that other one, then that's great. So you can stay here and watch the fun and games. Oh, that's tiring. Well, let's open the space up a bit. There's 4 more left over there before I have a heart attack. I ought to start thinking about where to put these. I might put them in the barn next to the ladders that I've just received. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Fabulous. So we've now got open to the very, very top, some sockets in the wall, which I think that wall is probably going to have to be plasterboarded, because we've got this sort of cooker hood thing, or oven fireplace hood, which encroaches into this room. Can't really do much with that because it has to stay there, because that's part of the chimney. So I think that wall there will probably be plasterboarded. Front wall does need to be plasterboarded because we got to have all of the electric cables from the distribution point just down there. They're going to have to come up here around the angled part of the roof, the ceiling, and then across to the other side of the room. And then, as you can see, this bedroom is going to have this beam and the one on the far side at just about forehead level for me, and then there'll be a gap above it before you get to the actual ceiling. So that's quite useful. Anyway, let's finish off these last few joists. Bad planning here. All of my stuff is in the way, stopping me getting to this last one here. Mind you, this last one has got all sorts of extra little bits of wood attached to the rafters, chevrons. I'll take that out in a bit. Let's get these stacked up to go outside. Now, if these are straight enough, the ones that were here, if these are straight enough, they're 50 mil thick by 15 centimeter, which is adequate for a 2.4 meter span if it's for ceilings, not for floors. So that being the case, I could probably, if they're straight enough, I could probably reuse these, because when I put a fresh piece of wood across this A-frame at the height that I want to have the new ceiling, that's going to be a shorter distance by a bit than being in the socket and going and resting on this. So I should just be able to cut these down a little bit, fit them in the joist hangers, and away we go. So I might be able to reuse them after all. That wouldn't be too bad. But in the meantime, out to the barn. So the next task is to take all of this wood floorboards downstairs, denail them, separate them into good and woodworm, and the woodworm ones get cut up for firewood. Good ones I'll reuse somehow. So yeah, just a case of taking them downstairs, I suppose. Oh, I think a drink is necessary. Let's move you so you can watch all the fun and games. Well, that's it for this task. I've got 2 more joists there and 1 more joist here, which is for some reason nailed to the chevrons, the rafters. And that's all clear. So we're very, very nearly done with removing the joists, then it's a case of the supplementary pieces of wood on top of these beams. So they're not necessary anymore. I need a new version which is up at the new ceiling height level, which is around about the height of these purlins here. So the new ceiling will be at that height. I think that's it for the moment. Please like and subscribe. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. I'll see you again in the next one. So you come up the stairs, and this side of the beam is free of joists. Over that side you've got the little hole that goes into the barn under the beam, and this side is free of joists except for those two by the window. And now this side is also free of joists except for that last one there, which for some peculiar reason has bits of wood nailed to the chevrons. I suspect because that's what the plasterboard was nailed to. Anyway, nice big open space, nice big windows. So having taken ceiling joists down, I've put them here for the moment, and now I'll just transfer them into the barn so they're not quite so in the way. Time to measure them. Oh, that's good. Good to get that done. Come and have a look at the ladders. So as I mentioned this morning, as I was getting whilst I was doing the loft floor stroke ceiling joists, had a ladder delivery. So there's 3 ladders there, and they measure, one at 4 meters, 2 at 5 meters. So that they go right the way up to the wall plate, which is good. And then in here we've got my old barrel, which I might have to get rid of, and we've got 2 stacks of 10 joists. So 5 of them are at 3 meter, 5 of them are at 3.16. This one on the side here has got all this rot at the bottom that you can see. That's where some water had got in. One of the broken tiles dripped on it for many, many years. So I've got 10 beams there, 10 joists that I can use, which is quite good. Obviously, as I raise the ceiling in the bedroom, because it's going up that A-frame, the ceiling width is getting thinner. So having taken out 11 at probably 40 centimeter spacing, if I keep 10 of those at 40 centimeter spacing, that should be ample to go for that slightly thinner ceiling at that height. Anyway, we'll see. Thank goodness for ladders. Very, very lightweight aluminium ones. And I'll just slide those up the tile roof on the back and put a triangular piece on between 2 rungs, and then I'll run a scaffolding board across from the sort of the support to the support on the next ladder, so I can just walk along the scaffolding board and start stripping that back roof at some point, not right now. All right, on to the next task.